G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a select shotgun. This is a pump-action shotgun with a revolving cylinder for its magazine. It's got custom sounds and animations. Let's get right into it. First of all, we've got the receivers like usual, and you'll find that they're pretty much on par with what you'd find on a shotgun like the double-barrel shotgun. It's basically got from standard to advanced. There's also a calibrated one if you want to use this thing for a VAT-centric critical playstyle, which I think is nice, but we'll go for the full damage on this one. You can have a short barrel. Right now we've got a standard, but you'll find that there's light and heavy variants of each barrel, so if you want slightly better accuracy and slightly better recoil control, you can go for the heavy one at the cost of weight, or you can go for the light one to increase your recoil but keep the weight of the weapon down. There's also a long variant of barrel here you can utilize with the 3 different types. As I mentioned, we're going to go for a heavy barrel here because we've got the strength for it and we get a ton more range and accuracy out of this thing. As for shotguns, you kind of want to get as much range as possible so they're effective at pretty much any ranges longer than kicking distance, so we'll keep going with that. And right now we've got the standard stock. You can have an advanced short stock or an advanced light stock, a short one here. A full stock here will just make it like a little bit different to the standard stock, just slightly. There's a little bit more metal. It's sort of stamped into the wood there above the trigger. And you've also got some recoil compensating stocks, which honestly look really flimsy. Is there some sort of pulley or hydraulic system here to reduce that recoil? That doesn't look like it'll stand up to much shooting, but oh, that's what you can do to it, and that's what we will do. There's also a light variant here which will increase our weight over the standard one, but over the standard recoil compensating stock it'll actually reduce that weight by 0.3. Is it worth it? I don't know, but it's also got better hipfire accuracy and faster aim as well, so that could be useful for a shotgun, yes. Right now I've got the iron sights. You can have alternate ones which give you a little bit of a ring at the rear sight there. You can have glow versions, alternate glow sights with a glowing ring, a reflex sight and a dot variant of those, and an alternate one which looks more like an aim point. It's a very circular, cylindrical reflex sight there. So what we're going to do is just go for the standard one now. Probably you want to use the circle because it'll sort of match the shotgun spread, I think. So we'll use that one and we'll move on from that. For the muzzle, we can have a compensator, but not worth it because they reduce the range. Bayonet makes sense for a shotgun because you're going to be in close range anyway, but you'll cost yourself range by attaching this thing on, even though that would not disrupt the projectiles coming from the barrel at all. That's just a curious design decision by Bethesda. It's mostly carried on by weapon mods that have bayonets and such. A full choke will actually increase your range and accuracy by tightening the spread of the weapon, making it even better at longer ranges, so we'll go for one of those. And there's also a suppressor as well, which will chuck on a version that, well, is going to reduce the range, but we're going to have a short range version for sneaking, I think, with a suppressor. And there's a legendary effect if you want it. And you can also chuck a charm on the side here, which will have like little physics things like the charms you'd find on the Rainbow Six Siege guns. And you can have different logos on them, including Riley's Rangers, Vault Boy, Railroad, Nuka, Gunners there as well. Let's go Brotherhood of Steel. Brotherhood of Steel's cool. And right now we've got a quad buckshot magazine. You can have a slug magazine, or you can have Hexa, which increases your ammo capacity by 50% and gives you a 6-round revolving revolving cylinder there. We'll go for the standard buckshots here, but if you want to utilize this thing with slugs, then it's a good idea to put a choke on it just to increase your accuracy a little bit. But the damage you gain from this is probably not seeming like a lot on the weapon card, but all of that damage will be with one projectile, not divided up, so you'll probably end up doing a whole lot more damage if you can hit with the slugs at basically any range at all. And right now I've got a standard grip color. You can change it. You can have it camo, you can have it black. That's actually a nice looking grip there. I like the black one. There's also some red as well. Leather's also pretty nice, and you know, you got to think about the comfort factor of holding the shotgun. You can have accents, which I'll quickly scroll through now, including some subtle gold ones, which I think look kind of cool, if a little bit tacky. And right now we've got the gunmetal on it, and I guess we'll just leave it like that. And you can also change the material of the thing that isn't the accents. Basically everything else, including making this whole thing gold if you want, which is funny because it doesn't look super gold unless you've got it in the right sort of lighting. So it's kind of like a active effect almost. And right now it is gunmetal, but let's change that to be factory finish. There we go. There's one select shotgun. Let's shoot things with it. Okay, let's discuss how to actually get this thing. There are blood bugs around, so we'll shoot those things first. And also mantises. Easy prey for a 12 gauge shotgun, I think. But what you want to do is go in there. It's a novice lock, so bring a bobby pin with you. And what you want to do is go in there. There's a little bit of a dungeon in there. The modder says it takes like 20 to 30 minutes to get that through. And once you're at the end of that, you'll find the select shotgun, and then you can craft it on chemistry workbenches. That's how you get this thing. I won't spoil this dungeon, because apparently it's good. Plenty of terminals to read for lore and such, but that's how you get this thing. Pretty easy enough. Also, while I'm here, I want to mention that this thing is not compatible with classic holstered weapons, so you can't wear this thing. If you have classic holstered weapons installed with this gun mod, it'll actually crash every time you use this thing on a workbench. Even when you hold it in third person, the game will just crash your desktop like that, and that's not good. So it's either one or the other. And look, I like classic holstered weapons, and I've only just downloaded this mod, so not to give you any pressure select shotgun, but if you're not good enough, you're getting deleted by the time I finish recording this. Map reference right here. It's next to Atomic Galleria and just north of Mass Fusion Containment Shed. Don't forget, there it is on the map. Go see it. Welcome to the plaza. This is a select shotgun, and what it looks like in first person. Aiming down sights looks a little bit like that. Very, very nice looking weapon. But I noticed something, just a little something. When I go over in third person and turn this thing around, you'll note that all of the shotgun tubes there, or the cylinder there, those shotgun shells are exposed. And if one of those misfires or they go off, then goodbye thumb. And we'll have to be pumping this thing and shooting it with one hand, which would make the firing process very difficult, I think. Anyways, here's a couple of other ones that I made. This one's got a suppressor and a dot reflex sight, and if I've chucked the dot reflex sight, that means we're firing 12 gauge slugs. This one here is a longer barrel but short stock golden slug shooting with the dot reflex sight, and also short stock calibrated receiver version that's also gold, so you know that looks kind of cool. And lastly, we've got this one over here which has a suppressor reflex sight alternate with just a buckshot and a short stock. And speaking of the short stock, you don't really hold this thing all that well. Like, you're barely holding onto it at all when you've got the short stock. So we're having a very loose grip on this shotgun, which is probably not the best thing for shotgun wielding technique, but I guess we'll just get started, right? Let's see if we can't snag an easy kill here. There's one. There's two. We'll try to utilize this suppressor and sneak criticals for as much as possible. Looks like we got 2 kills there without having to worry about it. Now we get to witness Fallout 4's utter tankiness, but we're still in caution. We actually managed to evade detection on anything else during that little scrap, so let's snipe these turrets. That missed because hitbox, and it's probably time to move on now because they're expecting the next shell to come from that way. There we go, there goes that guy. We'll try to stealth shotgun for as long as possible here because, you know, having damage and bullet efficiency, shell efficiency in this case, I think is a noble goal. There we go, there's another one. I'm noticing that I feel like the sight is just ever so slightly off by a little bit. You'll notice when I'm pointing at this gunner, the little square happens to be in the middle of the screen, and then what would happen there, it's just a little bit off. That's interesting. I just noticed that just now. So, yeah. Just use the center of your screen to aim if you've got that intimidation perk, I suppose. But so far, so good. We're going to keep this stealthiness going for a little while longer, as long as we can possibly get. But there'll come a time where we won't be able to utilize this anymore, and we'll start using VATS a little bit, I guess. Now, do I want to blow my sneak criticals on the turrets? Probably not. We'll go for this man. There we go. There goes his head. 1600 damage later. He goes down. That one goes down as well. And okay, this is a lot stealthier than I thought it'd be for a shotgun, but our luck is sure to run out fairly soon enough, I think. Not today. Still going pretty good. We are playing fairly conservatively. Okay. That is definitely our time to actually get started shooting these guys with a little bit more damage now. We actually managed to snipe that turret from all the way back there, which is nice. That's an MG42. Let me just lean around the corner. We'll pump the shotgun in the safety of cover whilst we wait for him to stop firing. That is a nasty flashbang that just didn't quite make the distance. Uh-oh. Now they'll charge at you. Winter, you're going to need to recover real quick, like. Winter, you there? Okay, we're fine. Go for the slugs now, and I think it is time for that. So 1, 2 for you, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's a lot of shots and bats, and we've still got plenty of AP bar to go. Let's throw the critical on here. Bang! He goes down. 822 damage. Now that gun I'm a little bit more worried about, so we'll shoot him. I want to cancel VATS and just shoot him again. Oh no, that was a bad time to cancel out. Tell you what, that gunner definitely played his gunner role quite well, suppressing me around that corner with his bloody MG. Might want to take that off him before someone picks it up and causes any more trouble with it. No, we're fine. Let's keep the gold one out and running because, you know, that style is that? That's a grenade launcher. Okay. We might be in a bit of trouble here. We're gonna get ragdolled. We died. Okay, this isn't over. I'm coming back for you, damn it. Okay, I'm not gonna let that one dissuade me. I'm not gonna take that one lying down though. So now we're going to absolutely destroy these bastards as fast as possible. So 1 critical of the sneak variety. That one not so much. I think we're detected already. Actually, maybe. Nope, never mind. We're fine. Okay. We got out of that situation pretty handily there. We'll keep sneaking for now, but in time we might have to rethink our tactics a little bit. You need to poke your head around the corner just a little bit. We'll switch over to slugs. Oh my god, I can't believe that didn't finish her. You are built different. This particular gunner, very strong, and we're in danger. Hopefully won't be for very long. That turret didn't want to keep tabs over me. Okay, so we're back on again, and I think it's just time for the great vatsoning, because having that extra little bit of damage and the one-shot kills with the VATS criticals, that's what you want. And that might just be the way to play this thing, to be honest, because the damage that I'm getting out of this, it's just, we're struggling. We're struggling for an inside the gunner's plaza assault, and sure, that's fine. Most shotguns struggle because of how the resistance works and everything like that, but we'll persevere. Let's actually bring out the sneaky slug one again here, see if we can't. Nice little hop over the desk there, Mr. Gunner. I'm very impressed. Looks like you've been working on your aerobics and such, and looks like we can sort of use this as a holdout spot again. Let's switch things up. Let's go this side. Oh, even though this is not the best side because my gun's on the opposite shoulder of which direction I'm peeking, but that's fine. And we got to be very careful here because one of these bastards has a MG42 and another one has a bloody grenade launcher, which is worse. I'm going to try to dial in a nice little headshot here. There we go. That was actually quite the roughie that we landed there, so pretty happy about that. And who's there? That's the grenade launcher guy. Excellent. Okay, he's dead. Now we can be a little bit more aggressive. That's MG42 guy. He's decided to stay in there this occasion. And now we're back to just tanky old gunners. Here's the reload again in third person with a slightly dramatized VATS camera. Oh boy, there was 2 grenade launchers. He picked up the grenade launcher. I'm rolling around on the floor. Please stop. Okay, you can't have that many grenades left. It's a 6-round magazine. I've used that weapon before. Oh, it's a private. Punching above your weight today, aren't ya? I'll be taking that, by the way. Right, no more of this grenade launcher shit. They're like being ragdolled. Ragdolling is for enemies and bad guys, not for me. I'm a good guy. Alright, brief moment of panic aside, we are back in control of this. Let's just get the rest of this done nice and quietly here, because I think that's going to leave a few bruises. Like, sure, we might be able to resist that kind of damage with the energy shielding, but being thrown into a wall, like, that's a blood nose and a black eye situation right there. And we can't be having any of that. That turret is, well, I think he's out damaging me from back there, so we'll switch away from the suppressed version, go to the unsuppressed. Fresh cylinder in, and we didn't even get the final kill. That was Ricochet again. But anyways, that there was Gunner's Plaza, and a little bit of a struggle, but, you know, we've got pretty good spirits over here. Still got a smile on my face despite being thrown around. Must be the adrenaline, right? Good job, Winter. Alrighty, so for today's giant monster fight, what I'm going to be doing is sprucing up our weapons with legendary effects. Read 'em and weep. This lucky and also calibrated powerful, this thing is going to be smashing crits. Very strong. Also got to have an explosive shotgun. This one's bloodied, so if he punches me and hits me and hurts me, I'm going to be doing more damage with this one. This one, I think, is the one of the slug throwers, one of the suppressed ones. And we've also got a wounding one here, which is just good for stacking on just ever so slightly massive bits of damage over time. It's slightly on his health bar, but it's actually quite... it's quite significant under normal circumstances, but the explosive one here is going to make short work of our mutant friend over there, but we're not going to be getting basically any damage for our hits on him unless he's really close to us. So I guess we could make this slightly more interesting, right? Let's use every single critical that I have remaining, which is 1 on him. His face. We've got all of these VAT shots, so let's use as many criticals as we see necessary, which is all of them. 3 shots per critical with the amount of luck that I have, and the legendary legendary effect, yes. And there's a very lightning fast reload. We've got a proc there for 4-leaf clover, and this might be more of a marathon than the sprint as I was anticipating that it might be. He's actually whiffed with the rock there, which is pretty lucky, I guess. We want to hold on to as many little bits of health as we possibly can. Let's switch over to wounding now. We'll fire this thing in third person in order to increase our DPS and fire rate of this thing, and obviously bleed damage rate, I suppose. And now he's going to have easy time hitting me because I've got basically no cover. You can throw it. He can just volley the rocks right over. Never mind, if I crouch right below the train carriage, then that's fine. That one I kind of walked into, of course, but those are like homing missile attacks. They will not miss. Like that mutant that you fight during, what's it called? That Brotherhood of Steel mission where you fly around with a gunship at Fort Strong. Like, he's got homing rockets, bullets, and excuse me, you got bitten by a dog. Get out of here, bastard! Don't just bite me and run away like it's nothing. I'm gonna shoot you up the bum with a 12 gauge. See ya, buddy. And I think we actually got a tiny bit of extra damage there from damage over time to finish him off. Wow, Swan is really off with his rock throws today. Is he giving up? That one was a little bit better. I think it's time to speed this up a little bit. Let's grab the bloodied one just for a second, and then we'll stand directly under him. We are barely taking any damage at all. That's slightly more. What is built different here, I guess. These either really strong or really weak. Some of those gunners were hitting me for a lot, but Swan is struggling. I guess he hasn't mutated yet. That's when he gets pretty hardcore. Anyways, let's throw some slugs in his face. Like 500 damage. We'll go for a critical here. And the amount that we're getting these criticals back just from the speed at which we're firing in VATS, I think is pretty awesome. And apparently there's no VATS projectile for this. Interesting. Probably won't last too much longer if we... Well, I could just bait Nerd Rage here. I don't suppose that would be a terrible plan, and there's no excuses for missing the headshots here, I don't think. Can I shoot the things out of the sky? No. Probably a waste of time. I'm just going to be putting more bullets into his face. That's Nerd Rage time. And possibly the worst time to activate it because I'm not even reloaded. There we go. 1400 damage. We'll go for a critical here. Mysterious Stranger might make an appearance. We're going to get an extra 300 from those criticals. Doesn't seem like that much at all. Keep them coming, though. I'm trying to bait that Mysterious Stranger proc. Oh, it worked. It's an extra 900 damage for me. That's helpful. And for my next trick, I'm going to be disappearing. And we'll try to finish him off with the stealthy explosive shotgun approach. That's not the suppressed one. There we go. We'll just pepper him with explosive bullets, because they're all bullets. They're not pellets anymore. They're actual proper bullets. Righto. Okay, we're done here. So that there was the select shotgun. To say that it's endgame would probably be doing a disservice. I don't think it's strong enough to qualify for an endgame role, but you know, if you've got a weapon that needs to bridge the gap a little bit between a double barrel shotgun and a combat shotgun, then I think this is a pretty good gun for you. I'm a little bit disappointed there's no abilities to utilize scopes on this. While it might seem stupid, you can utilize sniper just to knock down targets like anything. Just like that stupid asshole using the grenade launcher me in Gunner's Plaza. You know, that kind of thing. And I only think that guy was only doing slightly less damage or barely any damage to me despite using a grenade launchers because he was such a low level. If that would have been like an on-level dude, I think we would have been really screwed in that occasion. Anyway, so I'm going to end things here. If you are interested in seeing this weapon mod in your game, I'm going to chuck a link in the description and it shall be down there. Take a look if you're interested. I would recommend it, but only if you don't have classic holstered weapons. That's not a mod that I want to kind of lose for this thing. So, in conclusion, I like classic holstered weapons more in its functionality than I like this weapon. But that is not to say that it's not a very well-made and fun weapon to use, despite the obvious power problems that I had with it. But that's fine. We're playing on very hard difficulty, and only the strongest will survive. Enjoyed it anyway. Thanks for watching. See you later.